Golf News RI presents the Golf Dudes Podcast. Here are the dudes. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Golf Dudes Podcast. We are doing this from King's Crossing in the whiskey room, the beautiful whiskey room in the back here, after we just finished a stellar golf round out on the course. So thanks everybody for tuning in. And believe it or not, we're actually together. So it's nice to see you in person.
You too.
Fun round today. As some of you might have seen on Facebook already, at least on my personal page, we had an epic second hole today with me making eagle and Rich making birdie. We both drained, 15-foot putts?
Yeah, give or take. 10, 15 in the middle, somewhere around there. Yeah.
So it was pretty epic. We've had a handful of crazy matches over the years and crazy holes, but that was certainly one for the record books. I hit driver 4-iron to the green. Rich was in some trouble, but got out of it.
I had 3-wood. I hit 3-wood off the tee. That's right. Yeah.
So it was a pretty crazy hole. Rich putted first. Obviously, we were having a match, so Rich putted first, and he drained his birdie putt. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Thought I was going to get out of there with at least a tie.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And then I drained an eagle putt right on top of him. So it was a fun morning, fast round. There
was people here, but it was great. It was
the course was in great shape. The greens were in great shape. So that was a lot of fun. So we decided we're doing the podcast here from today. We should tell you first that the Golf Dudes Podcast is presented by Link Strings. Link Strings is best known for their transfusion in a can. Transfusion is vodka, ginger ale, and grape juice. However, there are now alternate flavors, and you actually like the back nine one.
Yeah, the cranberry one. I haven't had the orange one yet.
And so there are now two alternate flavors, the back nine and the front nine. And so look for those in liquor stores and country clubs near you. Most of you know we were at the pilgrimage and Plymouth Country Club this past Monday. It was great to see Fred Ivanko and the guys from Link Strings there and see them in person. They were giving out transfusions to everybody. So for those keeping score, we did not win, nor did we even come close. But we had a great day of meeting and getting inspired.
Opposite of a day today that I had.
Yeah, Rich.
I had a miserable day
when we were at Plymouth. Granted, some of the greens were kind of messy, as we wrote about in our course review. But Rich,
and it was freezing. I'm never cold, and it was freezing.
And it was freezing, but Rich also forgot how to play golf for a few holes.
Yeah, no, it was probably like 12. I forgot how to play 12 golf holes.
Yeah, so that's where we were. So thanks everybody for following on. Again, as I said last year, this was Rich's first time there at the event, but it's totally inspiring to see all these different people trying to do their own things, and whether they're successful or not, they're certainly trying to do their own things. We met a bunch of brands, and we have a couple of collabs coming up with Golf League US and one or two others down the road. So we're looking forward to those, but it was certainly fun to meet a bunch of new brands, and you met a lot of new people, and you thought some of the companies were interesting as well.
Yeah. Plymouth was a quirky course. It was all the par threes were super
I told
hard.
you it was hard.
I don't think there was the one par three on the front that was like probably like 55, and it played dead into the wind and had a super false front. Other than that, all the other part, there was like 4, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all super long.
Mm-hmm.
185, 190 plus at least. Like, look, the 18th hole. No, that was third. That was our 18th. The third hole, I was just so worn out. I took driver and I put it to the edge of the green, and it was crazy. Yeah, it was good to see everybody. Shout out to the Cape Cod golf guys. They did a fantastic job. The weather, it was freezing. It was so cold, and whoever knows me,
I'm always cold. He's never cold.
Whoever knows me, I am never cold. I was freezing once the sun went in about hole 6 or 7, and I just couldn't get used to it. But yeah, it was good to see all the new faces. Well, new faces to me there. But yeah, shout out to the Cape Cod golf guys. It was a good Monday.
Yeah, it was a fun day, obviously, and the course conditions were not terrific. I wasn't as impressive as I was last year. And they're doing some
You gotta also
construction.
remember, it's
Yeah.
been cold the past,
Yeah, no,
since
of
they've been
course.
open,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that's a weird area, so I
It's-
get it, I understand. It was just
it's
very
nice.
difficult to putt.
And last year, I think last year we actually played a week later than we did this year. This year we played, it was a week earlier. Last year we played. I think,
Yes,
next
because I
week.
went to Florida a week
Right.
later because of the way the Saturdays fell. Yeah.
Right.
Yep, you're
So
right.
I mean, I don't know how much of a factor that was, but that was part of it.
It's different this year. It's been freezing
Yeah,
this year.
Yeah.
Here, it's been freezing here. I mean, just imagine over there, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
So we had a good day at Plymouth. It's an interesting course to play. It's hard, but it's also the home of one of the top amateur events in the region, the Hornblower, which is coming up in June. So it's always fun to play. Always fun to play that course. You learn different shots and hit different clubs. And my forehands don't do too well over there, but they
Dude,
get
are you
out there.
kidding me?
I hit the ball pretty well.
I think you hit almost every fairway, but like two, I think.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep the friggin' ball in the mouth, except
So,
for a couple holes.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, so that was that. Thanks everybody for following along. I know we posted some stuff on social media. The service was tricky when you're out on the golf course, obviously, but I know we posted a bunch of Instagram stuff and tagged a lot of the companies. So that's awesome. So anyways, a lot going on. There's no shortage of topics. Next week, as we've detailed, is going to be insane. But this week, there's been a lot going on with the high school stuff. Will Dixon, at the time of us taping this, Will Dixon tees off in his second Corn Ferry Tour event at 2 p.m. today. He in
About a half hour.
Yep, and his last three Monday Qs, he's won two of them. So we have
Not
that.
bad.
We have that going on, and then we have obviously the PGA Tours and Wells Fargo this week. There's been tons of drama regarding the Saudi Golf League as that seemingly inches closer to starting.
Yeah.
In theory. Ray Norman has reached out to a bunch of the amateurs, top amateurs, I guess.
Yeah.
The top 6 amateurs, I guess it was reported that they were invited to play in the Saudi Golf League. Lee Westwood confirmed that he's taking a leave of absence.
Yep.
Or he's
He had a-
requesting a release.
He had a crazy quote. I'm gonna try and
He's
find
compared
it
it to like
on Twitter.
F1 racing. He's like F1
Yeah.
goes there. He's like, how bad can it really, how
Yeah,
bad can it
and like
really
what
be?
if the price is right, I mean, especially when he's been competitive for the past 3 years post pandemic or
Yeah.
pre
Last year, he was-
like 2019, like pre-pandemic, he started kicking it up a notch. So
Last year he was very competitive. He hung with Bryson.
you
on
know what I
2 or 3
mean?
tournaments.
So like, why wouldn't you? You've done. I think he's done all he can on the PGA. Obviously, he's older. He's
Mhm.
got to be what in his close to
50, right?
like
He's up there.
mid-50s, maybe, or something like that.
Somewhere around there.
So he's done a lot of most of what he can do in the PGA. So why not take it to another golf league where you only have to compete against 20 guys or whatever the roster is, 20, 25, 15, whatever the hell it is. And you're going to make boatloads more than a 70th place finish or a 50th place finish on the PGA. You know what I mean? Why not? I mean, whatever. As long as they grant his release and he can come back. I mean, who cares if he can come back? I mean, whatever.
Right. I mean, I think
At this point, he's just going to be making handfuls of cash. So who cares?
But from a rating standpoint, somebody tweeted out that so far the people committed, the average age of the Saudi Golf League is like 46, 45, 46. Yeah, whatever. It could
I
be
guessed.
45,
I didn't
whatever,
even say it.
No, it's whatever. It's
So
40.
that means
So it's like, Phil,
Phil,
Westwood,
Lee Westwood, Bubba,
Poulter.
Poulter.
Who's the guy that already committed? Garrigus, was it Robert Garrigus? No. Somebody already committed.
yeah.
We reported on it.
So yeah, the average age there is about 45. So
And then
so yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, it's crazy. Like the money rules the world, especially in the times we are at right now. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Absolutely. And like Westwood said, he's like, I'm in this is my job. I'm playing for money.
That's what it was.
So
that was the quote that I was
so
talking
it's
about on
like
Twitter. Yeah, this
if-
is my
if somebody's
job.
offering to give you a raise, why wouldn't you take it?
A raise by a lot.
Yeah. So he probably gonna get paid more just for showing up than for
That's what I mean. So
what he would get on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
So that's certainly percolating. Obviously, the PGA Championship is in a couple weeks. It sounds like Tiger and Phil are both potentially playing. Obviously, as we know,
who knows with Phil?
well, he's still in the field.
Yeah.
And we saw there was that video. We had it last week on our podcast. We have the video, but we talked about it, him hitting balls. So that could be interesting. And then obviously some of the local stuff with next week being a crazy week. We have the Bishop Henrik Invitational on Monday
That's it.
at Warwick.
Yeah.
Warwick. So you see all the top teams in the state. We have some of the prep schools coming down from the Boston area. They invite. So it's going to be a loaded high school golf tournament. Obviously, LaSalle has been killing it on the high school stage right now. They've won 2 tournaments and they finished second in the Adamonis Cup. If they win this Henrik Invitational, that would be their 3rd major victory of the season. And it would certainly put them number 1 in the power rankings with Max Jackson and all those. I mean, they're loaded roster. So
Yeah.
that's going to be fascinating on Monday. I'll be there for at least part of the day, if not all of it. And then Tuesday is going to be an even more fascinating day with the U.S. Open qualifier at Kirkbride. 96 players. There are 5 spots available. So
I'm assuming they're gonna go off different tees, right? I assume.
I'm not. Yeah, I think so.
I
Yeah,
mean, 95. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to have a shotgun.
yeah.
like-
Well, I don't think I have a shotgun, but they have
Yeah.
times, so both tees.
Yeah.
So that's me.
That's what I meant. I meant 9, 1 and 10. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a shotgun. You start on 14. You start
Yeah.
on 12.
Yeah. No, I meant.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I
I'm
meant
sure they're
going
going
on
off.
both sides.
I'm sure they're going off both tees.
95. Jesus.
90, yeah, the USJ site says 96, whatever, 95, 96,
Jesus.
and 5 spots available. So, could be freaking
That's what this Tuesday. You said.
Tuesday.
Wow.
It's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
And there could be like playoffs. There could be 6 players for 1 spot playoffs coming down 18.
Would you say there's 5 spots
5 spots available.
for 96 players?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's gonna be fascinating. I'm waiting for a T sheet to be published, and as soon as that becomes available, or as soon as they get sent to me, I will post that. Obviously, there'll be a lot of local guys. You would see like a Brad Amonis type player, Eddie Kirby, those kind of pros. Also, you have the amateurs, like I'm sure a lot of Kirkbride guys will be in the field. Hammy, Mike Hamilton, John O'Clair, and Tommy McCormick. Now, this is just a local qualifier. If the 5 guys that make it have to go to the regional,
Yeah.
the section,
Where's
I guess
that?
it's called. I'm not 1,000% sure. I think it's in might be in New York or something. So just because they win this one doesn't mean they're in the US Open, but obviously.
And there's
yeah,
probably
gives them
up
a chance.
96 other people playing at another qualifier.
Right.
in
Well, this
Massachusetts.
past week, we had Monday, we had the Foxborough.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So that's another.
Foxborough.
That's another. Like
And
you gotta.
there-
That's
they got-
crazy.
There's like 5 guys from that.
That's
And that
nuts.
and the score there was only 2 under, 1 up. And then 1 under was in even. There were 5 players at even, and they had to do a playoff at even par. So now I was talking to, as I mentioned, I was talking to John O'Clair, and he thinks that 63 at Kirkbride could win it. And since 63 to 65 could win it, and then everything after that could be either in or in a playoff, which is really when it's gonna get fascinating later in the day.
Yeah.
When the guys are coming down and they're even and they need, Brady to get in the playoff, or they
Yeah.
may save par on 18 to get in the playoff.
I mean, you're gonna figure with 96 people. Tea
So that's gotta be
time's got to start at like 7:30,
Yeah, start
right?
early.
Something like
I
that.
don't know.
7:30,
I don't-
depending on.
I don't know if I'm gonna be there at 7:30.
No.
I'm gonna be there.
But like
most
you
of the
gotta
day.
try and get everybody done by, you
Dusk.
hope like
Dust.
you hope by like
playoff.
4 or 5 in case there's a
Yeah,
playoff or
so-
something like that.
So if it's
yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
if people you can come and watch it. You just walk. There's no cost or anything. You just walk on and watch. Watch the tournament. Also, people can come out to Kirkbride, watch it. Obviously, there's a great deck area for people to sit and watch. And so that's that. So again, it's not once the times are available, or once the tee sheet becomes available, I'll have a better idea. But I know guys have been playing their practice rounds at the club over the last couple of days, and I'm sure they'll be playing throughout the weekend. And there's a few URI golfers that are playing, probably a couple of Bryant guys as well. So there's all that. So we'll have all those angles covered. I'm still figuring out exactly the best way to cover everything, but we'll just wing it, sort of, and figure out what the best way to do it. But certainly that's going to be a lot of fun. And then Thursday, I'm debating on going to Worcester for the Women's Open qualifier at Worcester Country Club, which is supposed to be like beautiful. So that should be fun as well. So next week's going to be a crazy week for sure. But yeah, this is the start of the season. This is what you look forward to. And this is it's where we are in the world. So that's what we have going on. That's what we have coming up. Obviously, it's a lot. So I'll stay tuned for all that coverage and more. Yeah, what do you have to add? King's Crossing's doing well.
Yeah, I think let me pull this up. I think our first member is 2 weeks, I think. Let me pull it up. I don't remember what it is. Event schedule. Let's see. I've downloaded this 3,000 times. Come on. All right. So our first member is the 15th. So that's what, two
Yeah,
Sundays?
next
Not this
week.
Sunday, next Sunday.
Next week.
Is it next week?
Yeah, May 15th for this week.
Holy crap, yeah. Yeah, two-person teams, 2 9-hole formats. Peter told me the format. I don't remember. I think it's best ball and alternate shot, I think. I'm not sure, but that's on the 15th. And then they got the 9 and Dine May 20th and another 9 and Dine June 17th. And then the big member, that's the big one, the cash member, that's for the plaque on the wall, which me and Joe are defending champions of. Me and my brother-in-law. That is the 19th. Two-person teams, 1 better ball of partners, net trophy event. Father's Day, US Open Sunday.
Well, if we have a press credentials for the US Open, you won't be
Yeah.
playing that.
Well, I may have to forego that one day, but yeah. And then club championship starts the 12th through the 19th, and then we'll just go down the line for bracket wise. So yeah, big doings at all the clubs. I'm sure you have your
Yeah, I was telling you, we have
qualifying,
our
all that
four
stuff.
ball qualifying in a couple of weeks. So I'm getting ready for that. The bracket will once again be loaded with a bunch of studs and duds. And so my dad and I are planning that for the second year in a row. So we'll see how that goes. It's always quite an adventure, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll hear about it.
So getting ready for that. But hopefully the weather will get nicer and I can start playing. So yeah, so lots going on. Obviously, we'll cover all the local stuff. Obviously, the high school state championship is less than a month away. Believe it or not, the high school season only lasts a month.
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
it's kind of crazy. Now they play like 4 matches a week, of course. But,
Yeah,
they
playing in the freezing cold the
in
past
the
month,
freezing
the past,
cold
3
and rain
weeks.
and all kinds of stuff. So
Ugh.
so yeah, so lots coming up for Golf News RI and for the Golf Dudes podcast. And this is our second week of doing this taped format. So it's definitely interesting, but we're doing here from the King. So we'll take a quick commercial break. Then we'll come back. We'll do some PGA Tour stuff. Apparently Matt Wolf woke up from his 2-year slumber from what I'm hearing. And we'll get to some of the other stuff when we come back. This is the Golf Dudes podcast. Billy Andrade joins the show. Billy, thanks so much for doing this, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm very excited to be joined by an 11-time Emmy Award winner, and that is Ncaa. Massachusetts Women's Amateur Champion Allison Pig.
The days of the country club just being golf and maybe one amenity are gone. Unfortunately, Ncaa doesn't have those.
He has a very rare condition called kyphoscoliotic Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And at the time of diagnosis, there was only 60 documented cases in the world.
I mean, we legitimately played the last 4 holes at Newport National. You could not see 50 yards.
Welcome back to the Golf Dudes podcast. Joe Collabs, Rich Capali alongside here at King's Crossing Golf Club in North Kingstown. Played around this morning. It was relatively successful. I did win the match, so I'm back to my winning ways.
2 up.
2 up. It was a close match though. A lot of pars and even an eagle was made and birdies today. So we really threw some haymakers. But we're here doing the podcast now, and it's presented by Link Strings. Link Strings is best known for their transfusion in a can, and the transfusion is vodka, ginger, and grape juice all mixed up into one refreshing beverage. However, if you don't like that, there are 2 other flavors, back 9 and front 9. back nine is cranberry juice, and the front nine is orange juice. So check those out. Rich is a big fan of the back nine drink. Again, it was great to see our friends from Link's Drinks at the pilgrimage earlier this week at Plymouth Country Club. And again, like Rich said, thank you to the Cape Cod Golf guys for having us. I got to give a short presentation on Golf News RI. I made some great connections. And again, as I hinted at, some cool collaborations are coming up in the coming days or weeks. So that is that. For those that are wondering, by the way, why we don't have the pinned ad up on our website anymore with the discount code, Pin no longer sells the Ace rangefinder, and they're sending us a new discount code with the Prism rangefinder. So if people were curious as to what happened there, I should be getting a new graphic from them within the next couple of days, and then we'll have a discount code for their brand new Prism rangefinder, which they did an amazing job of launching about a month ago or so, less than a month ago maybe. But anyway, so that's that. Just some quick business notes there. PGA Tour stuff. We reported earlier this week that Rory McIlroy re-upped with TaylorMade and his TaylorMade club. So I don't know if that's a talking point necessarily, but it was interesting. He hasn't really won much since then.
Dude,
but,
it is absolutely
but
amazing
we have
how many guys use Titleist. Look at that.
I love how they're the only ones that have
Look at
the
it.
Titleist thing there.
All right, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at how many of them. I mean, it could be equipment, balls, like some people use,
Those, yeah.
you know, PXG irons and TaylorMade. I mean, Titleist ball, you know, dumb stuff like that.
Correct.
But yeah, that's insane. Anyways,
Okay. PGA Tour. I don't know if there's any other. We talked a little bit about Tiger and Phil and about the Saudi League, which is supposedly starting in a couple of weeks. I guess
I'm kind of excited for it. I'm not gonna lie. Just from the, as you call it, the media, like the media and the drama side of it, if you will, if you want to call it that. It's like I'm gonna watch it. I mean, as long as it's like within reason of my bedtime schedule, I'm gonna watch it.
We don't know if they have a TV. I don't know if it's been announced. I might have missed it. But
Somebody's got to pick
we don't
it
have a
up.
TV schedule yet. I mean, everyone on Golf Channel is very much against it, so I don't know if the Golf Channel is going to take.
I'm hoping ESPN will pick it up, or maybe
some
YouTube
streaming
or like
service.
YouTube or something like.
Streaming service or something. That'll be.
Or
the
maybe
key.
somebody will take their ass down to the golf course and
Streaming.
live stream it or something.
Hey,
Like what?
Golf News RI is available
I
for
mean,
live
what?
streaming purposes.
Imagine that. You guys are going to Dubai. I'm sorry, what?
Rich and
Well,
I,
yeah, no,
Rich and I have very good cell phones.
I just got a brand new phone, so I'm
So
good.
we're good.
Um,
Greg, give us a
but
call.
yeah, I hope there's some at least bare minimum video highlights.
No, there's got to be
like,
streamed somewhere.
There's got to be something.
There's
So,
got to be streamed somewhere. They're not
but
gonna
but
take
yeah,
that.
I'm excited. Like I'm excited to see if it's going to be a shit show, if it's going to be actually legit, or
Mhm.
how do the players respond to the league, to the format, to how it's run, to how Norman's running it and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be something else, some other golf to watch. I mean, it's the same guys
Plus,
that
they're
we
gonna have
watch
the-
every year.
What I'm
every day.
fascinated is the Saudi League versus the PGA Tour type of thing. Like, is the PGA Tour really going to ban the players from
That's
that
the
go
thing,
over
yeah.
there? That's gonna be a
It's
whole
gonna be
legal
crazy.
mess, which unfortunately we'll have to report on because
Yeah.
legal messes are a pain in the ass to report on, as we
Yeah,
all know.
because
But
we've talked about this
but
before.
there's
The
gonna be
PGA
something, I would
the,
think.
the, the,
So that's
PG,
fascinating.
the PGA Tour owns the players' asses. They own their rights, their communications rights, their all that stuff is all owned by the PGA. And some guys, I mean, Phil, obviously, he spoke out about it, and I'm pretty sure there's more than a handful of other tour players that don't agree with it, but it's kind of like screw it, it's less of a hassle. Let them take all the stuff. You know, that's why you don't see any rogue videos from the PGA Tour or anything on Twitter. It's
Right.
always stamped by the PGA Tour, stuff like that. They take a lot of the non-official PGA stuff off. They're very, very, very strict with that. But you know, there's a lot of other golfers that don't totally agree with it.
Right.
You know, but whatever, it is what it is. A lot of other guys say screw it. It's, you know, just let
Part
them.
of the yeah.
They'll take care of it. But anyways, yeah. So we are at Potomac, TPC Potomac, for the Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo, yeah.
Let's load this thing up.
So currently,
Matt,
as
well,
of
like you said,
1:40 p.m.
prior to the commercial, Wolf awoke from his
Slumber.
slumber.
Now he
Uh,
can shoot 85 tomorrow, but at least
Exactly.
to-
He's
to start.
he's in a 4-way tie at 5 under. These are final. These guys are final. Wolf, McCarthy, Rye, and Taryn. I don't know who I don't know who McCarthy or Taryn is. But yeah, they had good days. They're all at 5 under. I'm just gonna go through the leaderboard quick of who we know. Tied for 5th, final, Nick Watney at -4. Rory, tied for 7th at -3. Leishman, 2 under, tied for 12th. Matthew Fitzpatrick, 2 under, tied for 12th as well. Rory Sabatini's there at 2 under. Jason Day, 2 under. He had a good day. He's actually 2 under through 2.
Oh, there you
So
go.
he's tied. He's off to a great start. Tony Finau and Webb Simpson. Tony Finau, Webb Simpson, Francesco Molinari, all at 1 under. Let's see what else we got. Sergio Garcia, 1 under. These guys just started at 3. They're on 3. I'm sorry. Gary Woodland, Keith Mitchell, at 1 under. Max Homa, 1 under. So yeah, it's not a super studded field, but there's some decent guy. Your boy Charles Schwartzel is in there. Alonzo Griffin, even. Yeah, so it's not too bad. It's almost majors week again. Got 2 weeks,
Yeah,
right?
PGA Championship
2 weeks,
coming
yeah.
up. Yeah. In fact, we just got the press release today. We have
Yeah.
I have a great Zoom call next week with my good friend Jim Nance. So we'll have some stuff from that as well.
Yeah.
Me and Jim Zoom once in a while. You know,
Yeah.
we just catch up.
Asking him how the backyard course is and everything.
Yeah, we just
You know,
catch
how's,
up.
how's the
We just-
backyard doing?
We,
you
we
know?
just we just catch up once in a while. You know?
Well, yeah, it's exciting. I mean, post Augusta, we're in the thick of it now. We're in,
Mhm.
we're in
Do you have-
FedEx
Do you-
playoff
do you have
points.
Do you have an early favorite? I think it's very early. Do you have an early favorite for the PGA? Is there somebody that
I
you're
think-
watching.
I think the non, what's it called? What's that word? The non,
Favorites?
the majors that travel. We're talking the US Open, the Open, and the PGA.
Yeah.
I don't really think there's a favorite because it's at a different spot every year. Unlike Augusta, where, obviously Tiger's going to be favored to be like at least top 10 every year because he knows it. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's won it at Southern Hills, correct?
Mhm.
He's won it. That was at
2007.
2007. That's right. And apparently, according to Justine Reed, that he's getting preferential treatment from the
Right.
from the pro,
Head pro there.
the head
Yeah.
pro there, who caddied for him back in the day. So yeah,
No, not
so
caddy from back in the day. Caddy from last week.
oh yeah. So
And there
so
were
for those-
helicopters and shit.
yeah,
following them.
so
It's
for
crazy.
those that don't know, the Twitter handle Use Golf Facts has been known to has had conspiracies linked to Justine Reed about talking crap about her husband's cheating in golf and all that crap. Put out a tweet the other day that this is ridiculous that Tiger's getting preferential treatment from the who's who at the maid, so she was all, well, the Twitter handle was all butthurt. But yeah, the word on the street, the conspiracy theory is that it's Patrick Reed's wife. So it's absolutely hysterical. I actually have the notifications turned on for
But
that
it's pretty
because it's
well known.
hysterical.
It's a conspiracy, but it's pretty well known that it is. Isn't that pretty- isn't
I
that
don't
pretty
know.
confirmed?
I don't know.
The way people,
It's so nuts.
the way people are reacting to it,
Yeah.
it seemed pretty confirmed.
It's
that
nuts.
they
It's
kinda
crazy.
knew.
I think it's hysterical because
Anybody can do the same thing.
it's so funny.
So that's coming up in Southern Hills in a couple weeks again. It was last held there in 2007. Like apparently they made a few changes to the course, but it's basically the same.
And
Same kind of
And from
format.
what I've heard, I think there's only like 2 holes that actually have hills in it,
Mhm.
hence the Southern Hills. So it's going to be a primarily flat walk for Tiger. Like I said, what, 2 weeks ago, that if he can walk Augusta and not be dead on Monday or Tuesday after Augusta, he can play anything really.
Yeah.
So that's good. It's good for him. Way too early prediction. I'm trying to think of who's playing well. I would say probably the favorite's probably got to be Rahm after his
Mhm.
win last week, right? I would think, right?
You would think so. But what about Scotty Scheffler, who says Southern Hills is his favorite
Scheffler.
course?
Oh, and yeah. It's
So-
got to be Scheffler Rahm. That's got to be one too. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Rahm had a good win last week. It seems like he finally got his putter working.
Something clicked. The switch flipped, and yeah, I'm happy for him. It's not really the same without his pissed off antics,
Yeah.
in a Saturday or a final round. But yeah, he played well. He didn't play that tremendously great the first 2 days, but yeah, it's good to see him back with the switch flipped.
Well, you and I know all about switch flipping.
Oh,
We flip a lot of switches.
I flipped
during
the switch
day, yeah.
today. I
From
played great.
shit to good, from good back to shit,
Oh yeah.
shit to good.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
I
we-
played
we know all about
own,
switch flipping.
if I played my own ball on Monday, I probably would have shot like 150, but I shot like an 86 today, 87. So
Yeah, we both
Yeah.
shot, really well
Yeah.
today here at the King.
yeah,
So that's again where we are. Again, Will Dixon, right on zone, tees off, and the
Yep,
Corn Ferry
15
Tour
minutes.
in about 15 at 2 p.m. on Thursday. His second Corn Ferry Tour event. Last one he played, he actually made the cut, which obviously is a big deal. And so we'll see how he does. They're in the Simmonsville Bank Cup or something. One of these screwy Corn Ferry Tour events. But that's the road he's taking. So. And I'm sure that's the road other people are going to take as well. Quickly, we didn't even hit on it because I didn't. We just came right off the golf course and did this. Is college golf NCAA tournament coming up? There's actually
it's the most wonderful time of the year for
Is that-
college sports.
there's actually one of the regions is in Connecticut. They're playing the Yale golf course in Connecticut. So if somebody wants to take a road trip up there, none of the locals are up there. I mean, UConn's up there, but none of the locals are up there. So the regions were announced yesterday at 4 p.m. Oklahoma is the #1 seed. They actually have to play their home course, the Jimmy Austin, because Alabama was supposed to host that region,
Yeah.
but the NCAA determined that their course was unplayable, and so they moved it to Oklahoma. So now as soon as-
crap. That's
now as-
crazy.
So
I
as
didn't know
soon-
that.
Yeah, it
Ah,
just broke. Like, it was
Imagine
just- it just changed.
losing that
Yeah.
due to, I mean, maybe it was bugs or weather or whatever.
Oh,
it was.
they just said the course was unsuitable for tournament conditions.
Wow.
So they moved it to Oklahoma. So Oklahoma gets to host their own regional.
That's
the
crazy.
Jimmy Austin golf practice course, basically. It's not a practice course. It's a real golf course.
It's where they,
Yeah.
where they play.
So they got to host the Oklahoma, the
That's
Norman
so funny.
regional. And they actually have and Louisville is actually in their bracket, which is Chris Francoeur, former URI star. And the 2 seed, Oklahoma's obviously the 1 seed, the #1 in the country. The 2 seed in their bracket is actually Texas, which is going to be a blockbuster bracket. So now so each region, as we pointed out in our article, has 13 to 14 teams. The 5 lowest teams make it to the national championship. So
Yeah.
it's going to be
And
quite
they have what? They have team and single too, right?
yeah, they
Yeah.
have singles
Yeah.
too. So it's going to be quite fascinating. So Louisville and Oklahoma, again, Chris Francoeur, Patrick Welch are in the same region. So that should be an interesting battle. And then Notre Dame is actually playing at PGA National in the Palm Beach region. They're down there with Florida State, Florida, Vanderbilt, I think is the
I bet you
#1
they're
team.
loving that. It's probably freezing up at Notre Dame.
I think Vanderbilt's the #1 team in that region. So that starts next week, I believe, is the regionals, and the Golf Channel will have, I don't know if they have coverage of all of it, but they'll have coverage of parts of it. And then they obviously have, the national championship. So lots going on in the college golf world. Both URI and Bryant kind of fell short in their conference tournaments. And again, similar to basketball, the conference tournaments are really the only way those 2 teams can kind of get into the NCAAs, because obviously they don't play a crazy schedule like Oklahoma does, and they're not flying all over the country. So if you're interested, we'll obviously be covering the locals. And then, like I always say, we're only, a little more than a month away from the Northeast Amateur, when all these kids that you see on TV, come here.
Yep.
Pepperdine is the defending champion. They have that kid Dylan Manente, who won the Northeast Amateur last year. I interviewed him, nice kid. But they're the defending champions, so they're gonna look to repeat. Obviously, you have Oklahoma and Texas, which is gonna be a battle. And Florida's is a threat. Billy Horschel's.
They
team,
play. I follow them on Twitter. They have a good team this year, so it's going to
so-
be interesting to see how they do in this tournament.
Yeah, so that's all coming up, college golf stuff. It's really fascinating to watch the matches, and because kids are playing on their own, but they also have to keep the team score in mind.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So if you make a bogey, well, the team makes a bogey.
Yep.
If you screw around and make a triple,
Yeah, it's
you could
crazy.
kill the team. you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
And so when it comes down to those final cuts, for the top 5 to get in, it's quite something. So, and similar to how it's going to be at the U.S. Open qualifier on Monday at Kirkbride, it's going to be quite something to see guys coming down the stretch. So that's all coming up. We have a preview of the NCAA tournament on our website. I broke it down by the 3 teams that you want to follow. Obviously, Notre Dame, Louisville, and Oklahoma. Louisville and Oklahoma are in the same region. So again, Oklahoma is hosting it. So you got to think they feel pretty good about that. They get to stay home. So that's all coming up. And then obviously we continue our high school stuff. The Bishop Henrik Invitational is on Monday, and that kicks off what should be a crazy week in Golf News RI land and just in Rhode Island golf land in general, for sure. So that's kind of what we have going on. And unless you have anything else, I say we wrap this puppy up. We get out of these Kings crossing people's hair. And so yeah, so this is the Golf News podcast. We were live. We were from King. I keep saying live. We're not live. We were at Kings Crossing.
We can't remember that.
By the time this show airs, we probably will not be at Kings Crossing.
No.
So do not come here. You won't see us.
I'll be taking my first nap, my second nap of the day.
Yeah, second nap of the day. I will be gearing up to see another Rangers loss tonight. And I
Maybe we
figure
can go golfing with the Bruins and the Rangers.
I figure they'll both be playing golf by next
Yeah,
week.
yeah,
By
that's fine. Yeah.
certainly the Bruins will. The
Oof.
Rangers might. The Rangers, like you said,
Barring an
I would-
absolute horseshoe, it's just they're just terrible.
Like you said, at least the Rangers, in theory, have a chance to at least win a game,
a
and
couple
some-
games, yeah.
Try to make it respectable,
Right.
but I'm not quite. It's tough to bounce back from a triple overtime
Imagine
loss
that.
on the game.
And
one
the
of
and the
friggin'
Cel- and the
playoffs.
Celtics get 3 days off.
The Celtics are off for next week.
Unbelievable.
Kentucky Derby is on Saturday, so you have that. So I don't know who to bet, but if you want to know, I'll ask my degenerate friends and they'll tell you. Who to
Oh
bet.
yeah. I'm thankful I don't have horses or dogs in here, which is nice.
Yeah, you really be in trouble.
Ooh.
So there's that. So again, stay tuned for announcements on future collabs that we're doing with some of the people from the Cape Cod Golf Guys tournament, and also with Pin, we're going to be switching out. We're adding a new graphic that way you get a discount using discount code Golf News RI on their Prism rangefinder, because they no longer sell the Ace. So as soon as I heard that on Monday, actually, he told me, I pretty much took it right down, because obviously we can't be false promoting. So stay tuned for that. We'll add a new graphic. We'll put a quick article up just announcing that we have a new graphic up, and we'll go from there. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you have a great Thursday. It's a beautiful day out. Get out, hit some balls. Enjoy Cinco de Mayo. Some margaritas and tacos.
Margaritas and tacos, baby.
Whatever else you might need,
Yeah.
and whatever else helps your golf game, really. And we will talk to you all next week. Again, this will be taped, but it'll be streaming like usual on Facebook Live
Same
at
bat
night.
channel. Maybe not the same time.
Same bat channel. Next week will be interesting because, like I said, I'm gonna try to be in Worcester for the U.S. Open qualifier. So perhaps we'll do something where I'm in Worcester and you're at the home base, or
whatever.
Maybe we'll both be in Worcester. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
But anyway, next week will certainly be interesting. We'll have a recap of U.S. Open qualifier. We'll have all kinds of whatever other crap goes on. You never know, really. But it's a fun season. The season seemingly is pretty much here. And that's it. That's all we got. This is the Golf News Podcast. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for all your support. And we will see you next time. Enjoy the weekend. Happy Kentucky Derby Day, and happy golfing. Peace.